Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It's 10:30 this morning. It's raining here in Little Rock. I was thinking about doing the river market, but it's raining. So I'm just not, I said, well, I'm going to go live for a minute. It's supposed to stop raining, but hey. Then there's another event I want to go and hang out at. But right now, oh, I forgot my glasses. Y'all. All right, I had to get my readers, honey, because your girl can't really see without can't read without these readers. Good morning, Philip for life. How you doing? Let me show the comments on the on screen. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. So since it's raining here, I say we'll do a quick live. It won't be long. I posted everyone knows by now, that little clip right there, those are 10 inmates that escaped from the New Orleans jail system there over 3 weeks ago, around March 15th, 16th, somewhere around there. And it's down to 2 that are still free, Antoine Massey and Derek Groves. Now, Antoine his family has been speaking a little bit, well, in particular, one aunt's been very vocal. And either Antoine or someone pretending to be Antoine, but it was definitely him on a recording, dropped a recording pleading to the public, stating, how he was innocent of particular charges. And then his aunt later did another video, and we played that already. She did an interview with somebody. And, I didn't like the fact that she called him an animal, I believe was the word she used, and how he didn't know how to live in civilization. I don't know. She used some pretty choice words, but she pretty much said that girl that he was dealing with, who's 19 or 20 by now, I don't know, but she's of age. It's pretty much they have a toxic relationship, and she'll put charges on him, then she'll take him back and, go bond him out. And she pretended that he stole her car. He was in there for stolen car, and then for allegedly fighting with her. But the girl has since said all of that was not true. And the aunt confirmed that he didn't steal the car. Good morning, Kizzy. How you doing? So pretty much, in reality, it's just looking a little fishy. And then now, the guy that said, the maintenance worker that said that, they were saying that Antoine threatened to shank him if he didn't turn the water off in the toilets. The guy is saying no. He said that another employer, or whatever, worker there at the jail told him to cut that water off. So Antoine, because you know what? Just to give you guys a refresher. I'm gonna have to stop that. Present. Hold on. And I don't even know if this is the full video. I don't think it is. I don't know. Let me see. I forgot the guy's name. I forgot the guy's name though. Let me see.
All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay. But before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right. St. Tammany Jail here in St. Tammany Parish. There's two different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay. Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on second-degree kidnapping, second-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child, she's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman. This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. You hear me? All allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that. Let out OGC. What I want to talk about today is for us why I was in Orleans.
Okay, I need the full video. Where is the full video? Let me see. Is this the full video? Okay, I think these are just pictures.
Let out OGC. What I want to talk about today is for us.
Nope, I need the full video. So I wanted to find the part where he's talking about that guard, well, not a guard, maintenance worker, and I forgot what he said his name is. See, there's so many videos out here, but I can find it. Hold on, guys. Just give me a minute. Give me a little old minute or two. I'll let y'all watch them run out. Oh, they ran out of there, honey. They ran out of there. I'm going to find that. I know so many people have posted it. But I just want the full video. Okay, let me try this one. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me. There's so many videos out there, honey. Antoine. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I didn't do this. Look, it's legally paid. So I'm asking, please, for help. Young boy, Meat Mills, people, LBL. You know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all, please, to come help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world to let y'all know I'm not a raper, man. I'm not none of that. None of that. I'm a good person. I am a father that want to be in my children's life. You know what I'm saying? I want to let the younger youth know that going down the route of trying to be a street person is not the route. That's what type of person I am. Yes, I was lied on. They made certain lie on me. All of he never beat her. He was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district.
Well, obviously we have rapists in.
There you been gone. 14 summers, man. Yeah, but I ain't swung since 2006.
I'm trying to find the full freaking video, and that is so hard to do. Antoine Massey has broke his own record by going more than 19 days without getting caught after a jailbreak. During his multiple escapes, his previous longest time on the run was 15 days. Massey's first jailbreak was in 2007 when he was 15. He and 5 other juveniles took advantage of a broken lock to access a room containing metal shackles, used heavy objects to break a window and escape. He was arrested 15 days later. So this is his longest. He's escaped before, but we know his aunt said he was an escape artist. But I want that full video, and I am having the hardest time finding it. But I got it saved somewhere myself. I just don't feel like. I want to find a part where he talk about Sterling, because Sterling has since. I think the police just made that up about Sterling. I don't think Sterling ever said that Antoine made him do what he was gonna do. Antoine video made him do, or made him unlock that. Made him unlock the turn the water off, rather. Child, they got so much going on. It's just ooh. Come on, where is the full video? It's a lot of parodies on here. People acting silly. People pretending to.
Massey. I'm one of the ones that was let out of OJC. What I want to talk about today as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. All type of stuff going on and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing. In the state of Louisiana, this is something that needs to go under a federal investigation. What's going on? How they handling cases? Why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the grown woman, not a child, the grown woman stated that he never raped her. He never beat her. He was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman went did this. I didn't do this. Look, it's legally dated. So I'm asking please for help. Young boy, Meat Mills, people, LBL. I'm one of the ones that was let out.
He's one of the ones that was let out. He said he was let out. He didn't run out. He was let out. So, hold on. Where is this?
Been forthcoming with authorities about what you know about where your nephew is or who might be helping him?
Yes, I had some officers actually meet me today here at my home, asking me a few questions because they seen some of my videos that I had recently put out, especially the last one where I told Antoine, myself that I saw the video and for him to turn himself in. So I guess the authorities here in Atlanta picked up on that video and wanted to come here and ask me a few questions. And I was very cooperative with them. Yes.
So my understanding is that you have a son who's in that same jail. What does he make of how this was pulled off and his cousin's suggestion that he was let out, that he didn't escape?
Well, as far as my son, My son and Antoine was on two different separate tiers, and I thank God they didn't run into each other. But for stories that I get from my son pertaining to this it's very low key in there with the information as of now, because now they are having the right authorities walking and monitoring the prison as they should have before. But what he does touch in on is how they don't have the proper water to bathe with, how they eat every other day pretty much, and he's always on me to make sure that I have enough money in his commissary so that he have enough food for when they ever decide to feed them again. And also about how things just go up in there that shouldn't be going, you know what I'm saying? Like for us, hot water, you can't flush the toilet, it smells very vulgar in there, so they have to leave the doors open because the humidity and the smell is just unbearing. Yes.
Buddy's smart, and you can tell that by his tattoos on his face. For the love of God, and I ain't never seen nobody with this, the man got a king chess piece tattooed between the eyes on the forehead, and those are not two pawns under his eyes on his cheeks. The man don't got teardrop tattoos. He's got castle chess pieces. Folks, castle chess pieces only move 4 directions: forward, backwards, right, and left. He is a king looking over 2 castles. I wonder if the castles represent homes, kids' mothers, affiliations. What if this man ain't never played chess in his life? For Antoine Massey, folks, it's chess, not checkers. I should do a 40-minute video of nothing but proverbs dropped talking about these tattoos right here. The rooks, my bad. I called them castles. Cornbread says walking game board. Now, there's something to take from that right there. This man don't play no games. They're just tattooed on his face. It's not Maybelline. How's that saying go? She's not born with it. It's Maybelline or some shit. It's not maybe, it's Maybelline. Talking about the fact he's probably got to cover that up with some makeup. How you got these damn tattoos that are going to stick out like a sore thumb? You still on the run. But you got to keep in mind, Buddy's done escape 3 other times in the past. He is not new to this. He is true to this. What if when he leaves the house, he's looking like white chicks? Yo, how you go hard in prison, but you got to wear breastises to walk around out here? Yo, could you imagine that? Hey, Buddy got to be in the full-on white chicks ensemble. See, while y'all was watching that movie and laughing at that shit, Buddy was taking notes. Again, rooks and kings on a chessboard. King only moves 1 space at a time. He's calculated with his shit. And you know what the king does on a chessboard? The king sacrifices everybody to stay alive.
Okay, somebody see, this is where people be posting stuff that's not true. New Orleans escapee Massey just spotted an owl at my aunt's neighbor house. We actually have the footage of him on Ring camera. This is going on right now. No, that wasn't true. Okay, so what is this right here? All right. Did I stop the camera? I stopped it. Okay. So as you can see, a lot of people have their thoughts on what the tattoos on his face mean. The chess. I don't know how to play chess. I've never played chess. But his aunt said they were gang affiliated, and he got them when he was in prison for protection, because he did go to prison when he was very young, 14? So Derek, well, we can't forget about Derek now. The news station looks like in New Orleans or wherever posted this about 22 hours ago or something.
That Tampico inmate develops. We are nearing the 3-week mark now since 10 inmates broke out of the Orleans jail. 2 are still on the run.
One of them, Antoine Massey, has since been seen on social media in a viral post in a home that has since been raided. Officials were able to locate some of his clothing that they believe he wore during the filming of that video. But as for Derek Groves, that is a different story. He appears to have vanished. WDSU reporter Shay O'Connor joins us live from the Orleans Parish Justice Center with the very latest on the manhunt.
Yeah, QSC, he gone with the win.
Good evening to you, Travers and Sully. Yeah, law enforcement officials tell me that Derek Groves is a convicted killer, which is likely why he probably feels he has nothing to lose at this point.
When you watch the video of him walking down Barone Street with Mr. Massey, you see that he has a very particular gait.
May 16th around 2 a.m. Officials say Derek Groves and 2 other escapees are seen here walking in downtown New Orleans. Law enforcement says it's the last confirmed time Groves was spotted. Nearly 3 weeks later, and officials say Groves could be disguising himself in plain sight.
His face is definitely out there. So perhaps he has grown some facial hair, perhaps he has changed the color of his hair. But the one thing he can't change is the fact that he's a very tall individual.
Since the escape, videos of Antoine Massey have surfaced on social media, leading to a house raid in the 7th Ward. Officials didn't find Massey, but they did find a trace. But Groves, a convicted killer, has largely remained in the shadows.
He has nothing to lose. He's been convicted by a jury unanimously of murder. He's looking at the rest of his life in Angola.
Officials say social media played a huge role in getting Groves convicted in October for the shooting deaths of 2 people on Mardi Gras in 2018. So it's likely you won't see him there. They also say it's likely that people are helping both of the escapees at this point.
He's not a community guy, so why not turn him in? It's a disservice to themselves as well as the community.
In the end, I think both of these men are going to run out of support. They're going to run out of friendship networks. They're going to run out of food and clothing.
But officials say Groves may still be here in Louisiana.
So I would say to everyone, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for a very tall individual that has the walk and the stance of Mr. Groves.
Another interesting fact, I'm told that Groves was actually awaiting sentencing here at OJC after being convicted last October. Officials tell me had he been sentenced earlier, he likely wouldn't have been here, meaning that he would probably not have escaped. I'm reporting live from OJC. Shay O'Connor.
Well, they waited too long to sentence him. And yes, QST, there's still 2 remaining. As you can see them all right here, how they were running out of there. They ran out, they walked. Antoine said he was let out. They opened the door, they cut the water off for him, they let him out. I find it hard to believe that 10 people can escape and not be noticed for 10 hours plus. The public didn't know. They walking around the French quarters and crossing busy freeways like it was nobody's business. But Derek and Antoine are the last 2. Derek Groves, that was him that jumps off. And I mean, he took off running. Watch when it come out. Derek is right. Derek was about the 3rd or 4th one. But and it's interesting when we saw them down in the French Quarter, it was Derek, Antoine, and another guy. I got another video I want to show y'all too. But they're the last 2. And I don't know if anyone is still helping them. They are truly putting themselves at risk. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are helping them, these people are not playing in Louisiana because they are embarrassed, first of all, that Antoine is running around posting videos, chilling, got dressed down to the T, and like saying, catch me if you can. And Derek, I don't think surely he's not still in New Orleans. I mean, if he is, I find that hard to believe. But how are they, where are they? This even possible with all this fancy technology and all these bounty hunters and things that we're supposed to have? How are they able to do this? They got to be getting help. But who would be crazy enough to continue to help them knowing they could go to jail? Anyway, okay, so Antoine, he has had his family life, his young adult life. He went to prison when he was 14. He saw his father assassinated when he was 6 or 7. Then his mother was then later on in life trying to sell drugs. Somebody robbed her. She told her cousins, hey, this person robbed me, handle it. They murked the guy. So then she got sentenced and had to do almost 14 years. So she had a bail hearing. Antoine was out when they had the parole hearing for her. And she was granted parole. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if Arkansas does theirs live and posted. I haven't found a website of ours here, parole hearings for people. But this was interesting. And it just makes me feel like, you know, because not everyone in prison is guilty. The people on those parole boards, it's like they've been on there since the beginning of time. Oh, I mean, nothing wrong. Everybody, you should want to get old and you don't want to die young. But, you know, retire. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. Because I posted a short excerpt from the parole hearing where Antoine spoke, and people were asking me, you know, like, what did she do? You know, I didn't post the whole thing. So I want to look at that if I can find what I did with it. Here it is, right here. So this is the actual parole hearing for Antoine's mother. The full parole hearing. So let me get to it. Let me okay. You see her name, Chaquita Massey. His mother's name is Chaquita. What we're getting ready to watch is the full parole hearing from January the 9th, 2023 for Antoine Massey's mother. She did serve, I think maybe 14, and she served a lot of years for M for hire or something. You just listen. But my point is, he had a hard life. Your mom going to prison, your dad assassinated. I mean, it was just crime all around him. And I want y'all to take notice of who wasn't at the parole hearing to speak for the mama, but she got a lot to say now. And this content is for public, it's for the public use, it's on the website, it's open for the public. So we are doing this for learning and teaching purposes only. Okay. Copyright disclaimer under section 107. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Kizzy. And if at any time anyone want to call in and say something, call the hotline. It is open. But let's listen to the parole. That is his mother down there.
Is Rachel the mother? Yes. I got a new setup. Where is she at? She's at. Good morning. Good morning. The Pardon Board is reconvening. We are at the Ouachita Transitional Work Program. Today is Monday, January 9th, 2023. The time is 10:29 a.m. Is there any staff, Ms. Massey, there in the room with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, can y'all fix it? I need to adjust. Do you have access? I need to adjust the camera. See all of them. I need to, sorry, pull your chair forward a little bit. I think that'll work. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Yes, ma'am. All right. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
My name is Chaquita Massey. My DOC number is 614444.
Right, and you have counsel today?
Yes.
Good morning. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, Rachel Connor on behalf of Chaquita Massey.
And as per usual, will you make your presentation at the end?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Massey, my name is Cheryl, and let me introduce the rest of my colleagues. To my far left is Mrs. Bonnie Jackson. My immediate left is Al Roche. My immediate right is Mr. Marabella. And his right is Mr. Fragan. I want to explain the process to you. I'll read some identifying information into the record, ask you to confirm. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Roche because your case is assigned to him. Now I'm getting some feedback. Hear us okay? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Be sure I'm getting a little bit of feedback. First, before I get started, I want you to know we have lots of folks who joined us today. Sydney Houston is joining us by Zoom. Here in the room with us this morning, let me just read off the list. We have Robert Thomas, Jennifer Coleman, Deborah Nicholson, Destani Massey, Desiree Morgan, Sierra Stewart, Antoinette Taylor, Antoine Massey, Ward Raby, William Russell, Rachel Connor, Grace Bronson, and Anna Lewis. So we have a room full of folks here that support today. So let me just.
A lot of her family showed up for support. Her children, you heard Antoine, you heard her daughter mention. She had a lot of people there to support her January 9th for her parole hearing.
So I'll read the information and then we'll get started with the interview. So you're Chaquita Massey, DOC number 614444. You're here seeking commutation of your sentence. You were sentenced in Orleans Parish, July 2013 to 20 years for a manslaughter. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Roden.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ms. Massey, can you slide cab forward just a little? Can you slide cab forward just? Right. Madam Chairman, fellow board members. Before us this morning, we have Chaquita Marie.
I don't mean no harm, but Pawpaw just needs to retire and go live him a good old life in retirement.
Massey, DOC number 614444. Ms. Massey, I have a presentation this morning. If any of the information is incorrect, please correct it, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Chaquita here this morning seeking a recommendation for an update to a parole eligibility date and/or a commutation of sentence by a 213 manslaughter conviction. Chaquita pled guilty on July 30th, 2013 to the amended charge of manslaughter. The original charge at the time of her arrest on April 28, 2010 was second-degree murder. She was sentenced 20 years at hard labor at DOC and received all health credits for time served from the date of arrest. Ms. Massey has been incarcerated for 12 years and approximately 9 months as of today. He is currently 50 years old At the time of the offense, she was 38. Miss Massey?
So at the time of this parole hearing, Antoine's mother, Chaquita, was 50. At the time of her incarceration, she was 38 for the M word, okay? But Paul, yes, kids that say he needs to fill out the retirement papers. And he did the most talking. I guess he was in charge. Good Lord. Whew. Okay. We all want to live to get old. We sure don't want to die young, honey.
It is my understanding that you were selling drugs on the streets of New Orleans when a man came up and robbed you of the proceeds from your drug dealing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It is also my understanding that you solicited two of your cousins and a friend of theirs, a guy by the name of, and they called this guy 50, to get your money back from Carlos Jackson. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So tell us exactly what happened on April 27, 2010.
I was outside selling drugs and Carlos Jackson walked up to me, robbed me, and I asked him to spare my life, and he said he just wanted the money. And he ran off. I left the scene, went home. On my way home, I was calling everybody, letting everybody know I got robbed. When I got to the house, my cousins pulled up and told me, get in the car with them, come with them. We was going back to the scene. We went back down.
One second. Did you solicit your cousins or your cousins' offer to help you?
It's breaking up, sir.
I say, did you solicit help from your cousins, or did your cousins offer to assist you in your situation?
Yes, sir.
Now, to me, she really didn't answer that question. He asked her, did you solicit your cousins? Did you tell your cousins, come go get this man and take him out? Or did you just tell them about it and they did it on their own? If she didn't really tell them to do it, I don't know why she would have been charged anyway. But anyway, too late.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, continue.
So when I got back in the car, I got in the car with them. We went back to the scene of the crime, and someone went and called Carlos out of the house that he was in, and we got out of the vehicle. And when we got out of the vehicle, they walked down there, and shots was fired. And they told me start the car. We started the car. And we pulled out. I pulled out.
Ms. Massey, do you regret making that decision that day?
Yes. 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 Yes.
That's okay. So Spiritual Spark says, no, they offered to help. She didn't understand the question. She just answering yes and don't understand the question. That's what I'm thinking. So she just told my, I got robbed. So when she's saying, then when she got pulled up, they say, get in the car. Did she say to them cousins, I want y'all to go get him and take him out? And she didn't say that, but I know it's too late. She's already done the time. But if she didn't tell them to do that, why would she have to? New Orleans, Louisiana, boy, that's what I'm saying. It'd be a lot of innocent people. Now, she got robbed. She just saying, I got robbed. And she told them who did it. But they told her to get in the car, according to what he read off. But Pawpaw don't know how to ask the questions anyway, where folks can truly understand it. It take it forever to get the questions out, bless his heart. Anyway, okay, I'm digressing.
The co-defendants were Bryson McDonald, Blaine McDonald, and Alvin Jackson. All of the co-defendants also pled guilty, and the McDonald, and I suppose the two McDonald gentlemen, Blaine and Bryson, were your cousins. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
They got 15 years, and Alvin Jackson, and this is the guy they call 50. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Got 20 years.
Yes, sir.
As of my report, it was done in 2020. Are all three of your co-defendants still incarcerated?
No, sir. One of them is home. The other one is still in. The other two are still incarcerated.
And which one has been paroled?
I think it's Brian McDonald.
Okay. So basically, the gentleman that got 20 years since Alvin Jackson is still incarcerated.
Yes, sir. To my knowledge, yes, he is.
This offense is only conviction on Ms. Massey's criminal record. She has 2 other arrests, but all the charges from those arrests have been either dismissed or refuted. Opposition in this case comes from the New Orleans City Police Department. This opposition is a blanket opposition because they are opposed to all clemency and parole cases in their jurisdiction. There is no other opposition from the legal community in New Orleans. Ms. Massey has never been on parole supervision or probation. So there's virtually no opposition to the.
When I tell y'all, my eyes was closed. Papa putting me to sleep, but we gonna keep listening. Woo, child.
The request for clemency by Ms. Massey. Ms. Massey has a low risk assessment. She has a low assessment. She has a good institutional record, and she is housed in minimum custody at a work release program, Washington Parish. Tell us exactly what your current job assignment is and where are you employed?
I work at Delta Biscuits. I wash dishes for Delta Biscuits, and I also have been blessed with a second job. I work at Comfort Inn in West Monroe as a front desk clerk.
A very trusted position, I see.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Massey has earned 450 days of time. Program she completed, Celebrate Recovery Inside, 100 hours pre-release, reentry, parenting, anger management, helping women recover, living in balance, parts 1 and 2, strengthening families, understanding and reducing anger feelings, getting it right. Tell us about getting it right. What is that all about?
You're breaking up, sir. It broke up on the ending.
Yeah. You completed a program, getting it right. Tell us what that is, what kind of program that is.
The programs that they offer to you is basically helping you with any situation that you're dealing with.
Miss Massey, evidently we have a bad connection. Tell us about the program, Getting It Right.
He said, I can't hear him, it's breaking up. He's breaking up.
Can you turn the volume up? Miss Massey, would you get the security guard?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, they had to go get somebody. And I had to go get me a snack.
She says she can't come, she's by herself.
Okay, that's okay. Can you hear me now?
See, now she by herself. Now, what if somebody would have escaped out of there? But anyway, I don't think she was at the jail.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Getting It Right. The program, Getting It Right.
It basically what it does is asks you questions about what you're dealing with, and getting yourself together, getting yourself better organized.
What did you get out of the program?
Sir?
What did you get out of the program?
More skills, more knowledge, more wisdom to help me make better choices, to help me express.
I got out that I need to sit here and make you truly believe and understand that I am a changed person and I need to be free. So this is what the parole hearings are like. And I'm going to tell y'all, before they start these parole meetings, they already know what they're going to do. That's just my opinion.
Okay, you also attended the Prison Fellowship Academy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Any other programs that you would like to mention that you got some significant information from?
Also, anger management, coping and dealing with anger skills. That's a phenomenal program. Celebrate Recovery. Also, I became a mentor. I became a teacher with that. That's a phenomenal program because it does an inventory on yourself and it helps anyone.
Anger management. I wonder, does that truly work? I've never been into an anger management class. That is interesting. I would like to attend an anger management class just to see what happens in an anger management class.
From a kid to adult in any situation, express themselves and learn how to cope with skills, also on a spiritual level.
Ms. Massey, besides the significant programs that Ms. Massey has completed, she worked in the library at Louisiana Transition Assembly Women with Ms. April Bow. She taught Celebrate Recovery 3 times a week. She graduated over 75 students every 6 months. She did so well that she elevated herself to the orange shirt trustee status, which is the highest level of trustee at Louisiana Transition Center for Women. She maintained this status from 2018 to 2022 when she was transported to the Washington Parish work release. Officer, can we turn up the volume?
Yes, sir. Did you ask if we can turn up the volume?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe it's.
Hey, we just can't hear you, Pawpaw. The volume is turned up. Oh Lord, let me stop. Pawpaw just need to go home and relax. You have served well, sir. Don't stress yourself out. And look at the other people. They back there. They all. Let me stop.
It's as loud as it'll go on our end.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to repeat the last thing I said. She obtained orange shirt trustee status, and she maintained that status from 2018 to 2022 when she was transferred to Washington Parish work release. According to the administration and staff at Louisiana Transitional Center for Women, where she spent most of the time, she did not receive one disciplinary write-up from the time she arrived in 2013 to the time she left in 2022. Have you received any disciplinary write-ups in 13 years of experience?
No, sir.
Since I have a staff at Washington present, would you like to make any comment, remark, or
13 years and no write-up. That's good. She did good. She deserved to be released.
observation about Miss Massey?
Yes, sir. She's been with me in this program for about 7 months, and she has been excellent as an offender goes. She has done her job. She has been an inspiration inside of the dorm. She's held Bible studies. They go to her for prayer and just wisdom. She's been great in there, and I think she hasn't had any issues with me either. She's not been written up since she's been here, and her job is very impressed with her work as well.
Thank you so much. And your name, would you please give us your name for the record?
Sergeant Misty May. I'm the Women's Work Release Director.
Thank you, Officer. Miss.
But y'all know, your freedom can fall down to just one person's perception of you. One person's perception and how they're feeling on that day that could determine your freedom. Now, if this woman the director, and thank goodness she didn't, but if anything could have gone wrong with her today, I have to tell her not to do this every now and then. And it just baffles me how one person can truly determine your future. And I know some people might say, well, don't put yourself in a position to be there. But the system is something else. I'm going to tell you, it's something else.
Massey has an excellent transition plan. She has secured employment with the Delta Biscuit Company in Monroe, Louisiana, and also a secondary employment with Old South Diner in West Monroe, Louisiana. She has secured a residency with Kingdom Recovery House with Ms. Chaquita Massey. And do you know exactly which job you're going to take, Ms. Massey?
If the law say the same, I would like to work both of them.
Okay. And how long do you plan to stay with the Kingdom Recovery House?
until she's able to help me find a place of my own. Because I'm still gonna relocate to Monroe. I'm gonna stay in West Monroe.
Then you're gonna relocate to West Monroe.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Ms. Mass has letters of recommendation from Ms. April Bauer, Program Director at the Louisiana Transitional Center for Women. Ms. Vanessa State, Re-entry Facilitator, the same facility. She also has a letter from Ms. Tina Bass, who is the Director of the Kingdom Recovery House. And lastly, she has a letter of recommendation from Reverend Desiree Morgan, who's a cousin and also spiritual advisor.
Now,
what is most?
I wonder where that other pastor was that's been out here talking about Antoine so much and telling Antoine to turn himself in. Why wasn't he there to give her a letter of recommendation for Antoine's mama? I'm just asking, I'm just curious.
Impressive about Ms. Massey, we have over 35 letters and notes of thank you from our students that celebrate recovery classes, telling us what an inspiration and what kind of help Ms. Massey is giving them in their road back to recovery. Madam Chairman, I do have a recommendation in this case, and I will share it with my fellow board members at the conclusion of this. Thank you, Ms. Massey.
Mr. O'Shea, Mr. Freeman has a question.
Ms. Massey, I see you have 4 children. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you still have contact with them?
Yes, sir.
I have a good relationship.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't see any other questions. We have Sydney Houston joined us by Zoom. We'd like to hear from them at this time. Go ahead.
Hi, yes, I'm Sydney Houston. I am Chaquita Massey's supervisor at Delta Biscuit Company. I just wanted to say she's honestly a treat to work with. She keeps everyone so motivated and happy. I come in regularly and just like I'm surprised by like the amount of joy that she has throughout her day. And I think it'd just be a real big shame to keep something so inspirational and sweet and so well put together, just keep it away. It'd just be a shame. And that's all I really wanted to share.
Well, great. Thank you for sharing that. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So that was her supervisor at the biscuit company that she was working at in Monroe, I believe. And she gave her a really good recommendation and said it would just be a shame to keep something so sweet and inspirational locked up.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you. Had to sit in. So it's change. I know that my mother changed. I need all my sisters. I'm asking that y'all please do a change.
And that's Antoine right there, January the 9th, 2023, standing up, showed up at the parole hearing, spoke up for his mother, said he knows she's changed and that he would wish and pray and hope that they gave his mother another chance into society. Antoine was there for his mother. So he's not the animal or know how to, an animal that don't know how to survive and live in society, like his aunt said the other day on that interview with that man.
Back in society. That's it.
All right. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. All right. Ms. Massey, before I turn it over to Ms. Connor, is there a statement you'd like to make to us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I would like to first apologize to Carlos Jackson's family for the pain that I placed upon them. I would like to apologize to my children for the pain I placed upon them. And to tell society, I'm sorry.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Connor?
I think she has one more speaker, Ms. Morgan.
Okay, it's not noted. Go ahead. You introduce yourself, please. Tell us your relationship.
Desiree Morgan.
So this is Desiree Morgan, one more speaker. Auntie Massey, who's been very vocal for Antoine, was not at the hearing for his mother. Maybe it's because she lived in Atlanta and couldn't be there, but she says she's the matriarch of the family and she's the only one that can really speak for this family. And Antoine's mother was married to her brother. Let's listen to what this lady has to say.
His cousin, I'm Reverend Deputy Gregory Johnson, license of name in the state of Georgia. Kind of emotional. If I cry, it's tears of joy. It really is tears of joy. You know, scripture says that when Christ forgave the woman, he told her to go and sin no more. And I'm clear on the fact, I believe in my heart that my cousin understands what happened. And based on what I've talked to her about on numerous occasions, that's not gonna happen. It's rare when I say I stake my life on it, but I believe in her that much that I'll stand before y'all and say, I stake my life on her future, a better future, a future with hope.
So that is her cousin, and she's saying that she stakes her life on Chaquita, that she is a changed person, and if given the opportunity, when she's released, she will do crime no more.
Expectations. You know, when you talk to ministry, or when you agree to do ministry, everybody looks at this person that's perfect. This person that's going to lead the way, that's not going to ever make a mistake. I'm standing before you recognize a licensed minister. And
now this one man up there, is he asleep on the board? He got his head down. Is he even listening? Or is Pawpaw done fell asleep at the parole hearing? The other man reared back. Now, I will say the gentleman who did all the talking, we could barely hear him. He is alert and paying attention. But the man, he's sitting there with his head down, looked like he went to sleep.
And I can tell you that there's times when she called me, and I should have been encouraging her. And I'm like, you know, I'm stressed out, I'm frustrated. And she's like, cousin, what does the word say? I'm like, right now I'm tired. And all she would say is, let's pray. I stand before you now, fully restored, fully charged, fully energized, because this woman stood in the gap for me. So I know what she's done for other women. I've heard them talk. I've even had people.
Oh, he done lifted his head up. Now, I don't know. He did have his head down. She said, that should, Robbie Rose, welcome. That should tell you how this hearing should go. He sure had his head down, honey. And the other gentleman, he just reared back like this here. I don't know if he's asleep or not. Oh, my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody clock out and go home. Honey, he was. Anyway, okay, let's finish listening to her cousin Desiree, giving a powerful, oral recommendation to this parole board on her cousin's Chaquita's behalf. Okay, you know, it's good to have somebody to come and stand for you. You know, a lot of people don't have nobody they can call on.
People at home when they were released that told me, I just want to tell you,
you know, cousin Banana. Says thank you. Thank you for praying for her. But she told me something, and she told me to do it first. So if somebody can do that for me, and I'm me, and I need to know. I know what she's done in there, and I know what she's gonna continue to do. So I pray that y'all, you know, find in your hustle. You say, yeah, she's with me, and she's moving forward. She is a model offender. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Connor?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel Connor, and I really do have this pleasure to represent Chaquita Massey. She's one of those clients that I feel confident that she's taught me more. I'm just gonna sort of.
Now that's her attorney speaking for her. That's her attorney. There's one African American lady, one black lady, one African lady, I believe, to the right, it may be to you all's left. She's the first one on that end. That other guy, he reared back, the one that was so on the other end. I think that's the black lady. Other than that, Chaquita Massey future was all in the hands of Caucasians. Her future. Well, is Pawpaw, is he? He might be a Cajun man. I don't know. I can't tell.
I think there's some highlights for her. She is a natural caretaker. She's a natural nurturer. At the time of these offenses, she was taking care of home for children. She lost their father to violence, and was taking care of that, care of other children. So while she was working jobs, she was also making money on the streets selling drugs. And I think everything that happened out of this was certainly an outlier for her character, her spirit. The Celebrate Recovery class that she took was trained in becoming a teacher for, and which she taught for at least 4 years. It was 4 years the last I counted, so maybe it's up to 6 by now. Is a faith-based recovery program. Takes her own substance abuse very seriously and treats it as a lifelong, everyday struggle. And she has a lot of faith. So I just want to sort of bullet points. I think she told you all. She needs to tell you for her outstanding record. Since her arrest on these charges, she has done everything and to atone for the mistake made. That includes 3 years at Orleans Parish Jail prior to going to LCTW, where she received no disciplinary course that entire period of time. She's taken every single thing she could possibly take. She did many more courses and has clearly made an impact. She, as you can see, very strong community and family support. She's got a strong faith. So for all those reasons, and for all the reasons that I think this board can be assured that you will only see Massey in an advocacy position going forward, you will not see her on the other side. I'm requesting this board please consider moving her sentence to the 15 years that the co-defendants got, or
Thank you. All right, I believe we are prepared to vote. Mr. Roche will be voting first.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ms. Massey.
Okay, they finna vote and Pawpaw goes first. Let's listen to Pawpaw give his recommendation. Woo!
I just want to make sure you hear me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Massey, based upon excellent good time program, community service rendered your fellow offenders I very often see offenders, and I got 35 offenders writing notes of thank you for service rendered to them, excellent disciplinary conduct, positive remarks by the staff at Washington, positive remarks by the staff from Louisiana Transitional Center for Women, and just an overall excellent performance while incarcerated. My recommendation is to recommend to the governor to commute those sentences to 17 years with immediate parole eligibility.
Mr. O'Shea. Mr. Marabella.
Ms. Massey, I agree with everything that Mr. Roche said. My vote would likewise be the same.
Okay, you should, because y'all wasn't taking no notes. Y'all was sitting back there asleep. At least Papa did participate. You know what? I can't imagine what somebody feels like to be told that God was setting you free. You can go home.
I totally agree with my colleagues. I think you've been excellent and appreciate all the hard work that you've done for the other inmates. So I should say.
Mrs. Jack.
She got locked up because when she was 38, she was selling drugs on the streets of New Orleans. And one night after selling and making money, a man approached her and robbed her. And she called her family. She said she was calling people on her way home saying, I just got robbed, I just got robbed. And when she got home, her cousins told her to get in the car. And they went and found the man that did it and took his life. So she was locked up for ordering a hit pretty much on the man that robbed her. But not so sure it happened just like that. But anyway, that's what she served all that time for. That's what she stated at the beginning of this parole hearing.
Ms. Massey, my vote is the same for the same reason. And I agree with my colleague based on the work that you've done. My vote is the same. So Ms. Massey, on your behalf, we'll make a recommendation to the governor that your sentence be commuted to 17 years in which again you can take. Feel like to you, ma'am. Thank you for your hard work. Washington, thanks for accommodating us. We're going to recess at 11:02.
It's like emancipation. It's like finding out your master done set you free. I think this was it on this one. Let me see.
Thank y'all for coming today.
The lady behind her crying. Oh, child.
Thank you.
She crying. The parole. I almost want to cry, and it happened several years ago. She went home. All them people. I think they got another one. I'm interested to see another one. Let me just see who coming up next. I'm just curious. Or was that it? I think my computer locked up on me. God dog it. Y'all hold on. Hold on. I'll be back. I need to I don't know why my computer does that. I need to get it. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if they did any more. If Popo do another one, let me see. So this is another parole hearing. I just want to see. Oh, Papa finna do another one. Oh, Lord. Let's see if he's. I want to see.
All right, good morning. The pardon board we are looking at Louisiana State Penitentiary on Monday, January 9th, 2023. It is 11:06 a.m. Would the staff at the penitentiary introduce you?
So I wonder if that's Angola, Louisiana. So yep, it is Angola. So this man is up. Child, let's see what's going on. Well, this is open to the public. I'm just curious. We're going to review some parole hearings here.
Yourself for the record, please.
Deputy Warden Tracy Falgood. Reginald Admiral, classification.
Carmen Shipley, offender records.
All right. And our first case is Mr. Johnson. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Gregory Johnson, 119762.
And you are represented by counsel. Good morning, counsel. Would you introduce yourself?
Good morning, Ms. Renata. Keith Nordike appearing on behalf of Gregory Johnson. And I also note that a Michael Koff should be a witness, and I don't see him appearing. I did speak to him over the weekend. I know he plans to be present. I just want to make sure he's not hanging out there somewhere.
We'll have a Michael Koff trying to get in.
KOPF.
KOP. He's trying to get in now, they're advising.
Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me tell you how this is going to work. This is, stand by just a second. I have the wrong paper. Sorry. We have a lot of moving parts happening. I just wanted to be able to recognize the folks who are here. Joining us by Zoom, we have Joseph Landix, Catherine. Excuse me just a second. I got to get the right one. I have the next case. Johnson. This is Johnson. Sorry. Stand by just a minute. I apologize, Mr. Johnson. Thank you. All right, we have Elizabeth Bentley, your mother, Stacy Finch, Glenn Johnson, Mike Kopp, your attorney. We also have here a representative from the DA's office in Jefferson Parish. He's also asked to weigh in, and we'll call on him at the appropriate time to do it. First, Mr. Johnson, I'll read some identifying information into the record, ask you to confirm it. Then I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Jackson. Your case has been assigned to her. She'll take the lead on the interview. We'll hear from the folks at the penitentiary and those who've indicated they'd like to speak this morning. Before we turn it over to Mr. Nordike for his presentation, you'll be allowed to make a statement at the end. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Gregory Johnson, your DOC number is 119762. You're here seeking a commutation of your sentence. You were sentenced in Jefferson Parish, October 1987, to a life sentence for a second-degree murder conviction. Mr. Johnson, is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you answer Mrs. Jackson's questions?
All right, good morning, Mr. Johnson. My name is Bonnie Jackson. Your case has been assigned to me, so I'll start the questioning. How old are you, Mr. Johnson?
I am 57.
And how old were you when you committed this crime?
I was 20.
And how long have you been incarcerated?
Over 36 years.
Could you just tell us what happened on September 8th of 86, what your role is in that, what was your role and how did this crime come to
Oh, that's a long time. I don't know if I could even remember.
be?
Yes, my co-defendant and I came down here from Dallas to pick up a car his girlfriend had left down here when she lived down here, and things got haywire.
And now, see, when you say things got haywire, that
I haven't watched this, but I don't know. I hope he got some people to speak for him like Chaquita did. What y'all think? Y'all think he gonna get paroled? I don't know. Y'all think he gonna get paroled?
means you're not telling me what happened. So tell me what happened. How does that turn into a homicide?
Well, we were supposed to be picked up by his girlfriend and taken back to Dallas. While we were waiting at this motel, we came up with this crazy idea to take this man and tie him up and take him back to Dallas with him and let him go. So we stepped into the motel room. My co-defendant hit him.
Wait, sir, stop talking for a moment. Prior to that, prior to being at the motel, what had you and your co-defendant been doing?
We were just sitting outside this motel because we checked out of the room we were in.
Motel, sir, what had you and your co-defendant been doing?
Child, this woman, she not playing with him. He should have had pawpaw. You know what? He leaving stuff out. They probably was getting high and then decided to, did he say they wanted to take the man to Dallas and then let him go?
Doing before you even got.
I think some of these people on this video are that person that got unalived family members.
Got to the motel, what had you been doing?
I don't understand your question. Doing prior to, like, we drove down there, we checked into a motel. We the night before we went down to Bourbon Street, ran up with his girlfriend, and they kind of had a falling out. And then we drove back to the motel. I had my car. We ended up having a fender bender right there at the motel and getting it stuck. So the next day it was time to check out. We checked out the room and he called his girlfriend and they agreed to come pick us up. But they had some things to do first, so we had to wait a few hours. During this time, we got drunk, sat out there and talked, and
got drunk.
During this, what?
We were just sitting out there talking to each other. This man was in a room next to the one we were in. He'd come out and he talked to us. He was very congenial. Just shooting the stuff. So when that man stepped off at a point, me and my co-defendant came up with this half crazy plan to get this man, tie him up, put him in his car, and take him back to Dallas with us in the man's car.
Why? Why were you going to do that?
Really just craziness. Like,
woo, child, I don't think you're gonna get your parole, honey. And you might will do that again. I don't know.
Co-defendant kind of,
I could be wrong,
was agitated with his girlfriend, didn't really want to ride back with her. So he thought maybe we could get back like that instead.
So what did you all do?
Excuse me?
So what did you and your co-defendant do when you saw the man?
So we asked if we could step in and use his restroom because we were checked out of the motel we had. And he said, sure. And when we stepped in there, my co-defendant clocked him and knocked him out and jumped on top of him and commenced to beating him. At that point, I was kind of in a panic. I didn't think it was supposed to, the plan we even thought about was supposed to go half that far.
So what was your role?
Anyway,
What your role? What was your role in the crime?
my role was that, yes, we talked about doing this, and the way it turned out was.
What did you do, Mr. Johnson? I'm asking you, what did you do?
After that happened, he had asked me to get some cutters so we can get some stuff to tie him up with. So I went and got the cutters and came back, and we went to cutting cords off of lamps and air conditioning and stuff, and we tied him up. At that point, we put a cord around his neck and started choking him. That's when I said.
So both of you put a cord around his neck and started choking him?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
There's no explanation. It's senseless.
Agree.
I wasn't thinking straight.
And so y'all choked him. What else did you do to him?
That was it. I got to the point he hollered something about how long does it take to choke somebody, and that's when I let go of the cord and told him, let's go.
And what did y'all do after choking the victim?
We left him there, got his keys and took his car and proceeded to lead back to Dallas.
And what happened after that?
That was dumb. Didn't you know they was you in this man's car?
We made it from Metairie to about Gramercy when this man's car broke down. So we ended up hitchhiking to a gas station and called back to the motel asking if his girlfriend had arrived yet.
And then what?
And then they said, no, we'll just leave a number and we'll get her to call you when she does arrive.
How did you all get back to the motel?
Back to the motel. We didn't get back to them. We were arrested in Gramercy at that gas station.
So, you indicated that you indicated in your application that you participated in the homicide, but you said the alcoholism factor. Right? Explain what you mean by that.
Well, if I wasn't drunk, if I was in my right mind at that time, I believe none of this would have ever happened.
What do you mean?
Excuse me?
You said alcoholism. That means a problem with alcohol. I'm asking you to tell me about your problem with alcohol.
Oh, I was at a point in my drinking where I'd wake up in the morning and have Budweiser with my Captain Crunch.
How long had you been drinking excessively? When did you start drinking excessively?
That excessively probably right after I got out of high school in 2004.
And why do you think that was?
Why do I think
Why did you develop a drinking problem so early?
A lot of things going on in my life. My parents had gotten divorced. That kind of upset me. Peer pressures started me drinking. Once I started, it was kind of out.
When were you in the National Guard, Mr. Johnson?
I went to active duty in February 2006 and completed active duty.
What do you mean by active?
Well, National Guard, in National Guard, you go to Army active duty where they train you. And then once you finish this active duty, you return to your state and do your National Guard duties.
So basically it was boot camp.
Well,
basically you went through boot camp.
Right, boot camp and advanced training.
Right. But you weren't deployed anywhere. You just went through boot camp and then you came back to your state. Is that correct?
Yeah, for life is it's his delivery. You know, not everyone is a good public speaker. And I don't, and you know, he's been in there a long time. He probably won't, not gonna drink like that anymore. I mean, but I think this man that they unalive, I think he has some people on here that, or maybe these people are on there for him. We'll find out.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. I think I'm going to start reviewing and just reacting to some of these parole hearings since they're open to the public. You know, this is interesting. Social justice.
So let's talk about the last 36 years, Mr. Johnson. As I've looked at your record, you've had 22 write-ups, which...
See, Chaquita had no write-ups. He's had 22 in 36 years. Damn, he's been in there a long time. Oh.
Given 36 years is not an excessive number of write-ups. Your last write-up was in 2011, and that was for contraband. And so what was the contraband?
That was a failed piss test due to marijuana.
The urine test?
Yes, ma'am.
And you...
How they getting the marijuana in the prison? Now, his last write-up was in 2011. This happened in 2023. That is a long time not to get a write-up now. He's been in there 36 years, but he did take a life. He did take a life.
We're using marijuana and...
Antoine Massey ain't never took nobody's life. Okay? Run, Antoine, run.
2011.
Yes, ma'am.
I also noticed you had several contraband write-ups in addition to the one in 2011. Were those for dirty urine screens or for drugs?
They're going to say if alcohol and drugs make you crazy, if we let you out while you're in here, you're still getting them. If you were to be out in the public and totally free, you would have access to get alcohol and drugs at any time. And what if you do the same thing you did? I don't think he's going to get out.
What were the other contraband write-ups you had?
The only other contraband I had that was a drug charge was one other one.
And when was that?
That was in 2005.
What was that for?
That was for marijuana.
Who giving him this marijuana in prison?
Okay, I show a contraband in 88, and 89, and 92, and 99, and 98.
Okay.
Had a lot. So what were the other contrabands about?
Some of them were about like battery packs, simple stuff like that, where you hook 4 batteries up for save double A's, you use D batteries instead.
I see that you lost 120 days of good time. What offenses caused you to lose 120 days of good time?
I told y'all they already had these people's profiles, records. Look how these people look. Look at the people faces on the panel. Look at this woman, Stacy Finch, in the middle. Look at this man, Kerry Myers, down at the bottom. And look at this older lady, white-haired lady down at the bottom as well. It's like what's this, like Hollywood squares, Parole squares. And she's got the middle square.
Remember why you lost 120 days of good time?
I had a respirator mask in a hobby shop that I used to block the dust. And they said that I stole the mask.
Hey,
that was one of the contraband charges also. And they took 120 days for it.
So I've looked at your programming record, and I see that you attended Northwest Missouri Community College in 1992, but it doesn't appear that you received any kind of degree or diploma. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I got locked up on an incident report saying my life was in danger, and they ended up sending me to Camp D, where I was unable to finish the program because I got moved away from the program.
And then I looked at your just programs in general, and it looks like the last time you've taken any kind of program was in 2016. That was 100 hours of pre-release. Why haven't you taken more programs over the course of your time? Like I said, the most recent one that I showed was in 2016, which was 100 hours of pre-release.
Well, I just finished Thinking for a Change. Do you have that document?
I do, but if I might have read it, but
that was
Thinking for a Change, they show you did in 2014, Living in Balance 2014, Cage Your Rage 2013, and 100 hours of pre-release in 2016. This is from your master prison record. So those are the dates that I have of the program that you've taken.
But my Thinking for a Change should have been 2022. I just now finished that.
You took it twice?
Yes, ma'am.
Took it twice?
Yes, ma'am.
And what other programs have you taken recently besides Thinking for a Change?
That's the only one since 2016.
And why haven't you done more to try to help yourself?
Well, I got shipped from Camp J to Camp C because they closed Camp J down in 2018. And before I could really get set up with some more programming there, we ran into COVID.
But we're talking about 36 years in prison. Not like you just got there. I mean, 36 years. You know, we've seen inmates with lots more programs with life sentences than you.
Child, every question they ask him, they already have a rebuttal for it. Oh my goodness. This is
You have. I'm just trying to figure out why you weren't motivated to take any more programs to improve yourself. What's your job at the prison?
At the moment, I work at the Camp C Concept Club as a vice president.
I said job. What's your job What kind of job is that?
Well, I handle the books for inmates putting money in the club, where I write their tickets, you know, when they order food, keep track of their balances and all that. Do some of the ordering itself for the club, for the products they need for the sale.
What other job? What was your job prior to that?
While I was at Camp J, I worked at the tool shed. I took care of the inventory there. I cut the grass. I fixed the lawnmowers, the weed eaters, and kept track of the soap.
So, if you were to be successful, Mr. Johnson, what's your transition plan?
Could you repeat that question?
If you were to be successful,
I wonder, did his attorney go over some things he might be asking transition? What are you planning on doing when you get out? Do you have a job lined out? Do you have family that's gonna help? You know, anyway.
with your request, what would be your transition plan?
I would go to the parole project, let them get me accustomed to civil life again, and then I would try to join my mother in Dallas and get a job.
How old is your mother?
My mother just turned 80.
Right. And how is she going to be able to support you?
I'm gonna do my best to support myself as much as I can. And
what kind of job skills do you have?
Well, the Army taught me light wheel vehicle mechanics, in which I used as a basis for the work I did on these lawnmowers and stuff. So I could fix lawnmowers, or I could get into.
That was in the National Guard.
No, not the National Guard side of it, but through that training, I learned to fix.
Let me ask, have you had any job training programming since you've been incarcerated? Have you taken up any trades while you've been incarcerated?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Well, for the most part, they weren't offered to people with life sentences because they felt life sentences didn't deserve the training. It was a hard thing to get into a training school.
Have you done any kind of other than the concept club? Have you done any other? Have you been a tutor?
So they're saying the life sentence, you're not getting out, you don't need no job training, pretty much is what he's saying.
Been a mentor? Have you engaged in any?
You know, Angola, but you know, Angola is just the roughest in Louisiana. But then you got Huntsville and oh Lord. The moral of the story, don't do no crimes, people.
Any kind of community service work within the prison that you'd like to tell us about?
Yes, in the 90s, I joined a tutor program and did some literacy work for some people.
Well, I saw that you completed tutor training, but I don't see that you were ever actually a tutor. What kind of tutoring did you do?
I did literacy training.
See, they already have the paperwork in front. Don't be asking me something you already know, damn it.
Training for people at Camp D.
And how long did you do that?
For about 3 years.
That's good. That's good.
Warren, is there anything you can tell us about Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am. Just to clarify a few things, he did take Thinking for a Change, which is a separate class from anger management. He finished that according to his certificate on November 22nd of 21. He has been a Class A trustee since 2009, generally working as a general orderly, and his last official, which he's had for some time now, has been a groundskeeper and a tool shed employee.
See, now he's speaking better for him than he could for himself. Not everyone has the oratory skills of a Dr. Umar Johnson. So not everyone can speak for themselves the way that they should. And maybe he, I think his chances are going up a little bit now. You guys still feel the same way that he won't make parole? I don't know. I think the tide is, how when you have, it's like on social media, on YouTube, when people hate you, first they love you, then they hate you, and then the tide will turn again, and they, the person that they once hated the most, now they're best friends with them. They love them all over again. The tide is turning. So let's just see here.
At Camp C. I did look in his record, and he does have mentioned in his record that in March of '95, it says that in the PM on Monday through Friday, he was a tutor. It doesn't give me the time frame on that. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Warren. I'm Mrs. Johnson, that's all.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions by my colleagues. Can we hear now from Ms. Elizabeth Bentley, Mr. Johnson's mother? Morning, ma'am. I think you're still on mute. You'll have to unmute.
That's his mama. Okay. Child, it's always good to have a mama by your side. She's still fighting for her baby, and she almost 80 years old. She want her baby home with her to live out her final days on. Let's see what mama gonna say. Mama fighting for her child. Ain't nothing like the love of a mother. See, he loved his mom. Let's see. Now, he did make a horrible mistake. Lord have mercy. I don't know what possessed people to want to just literally take somebody's life. But let's see what mama gonna say.
Your microphone.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say that I know that Greg has a supportive family. We've been supportive of him and his efforts even before he was incarcerated. And since he's been in prison, we've supported him with visits and calls and messages. And back when we could send him packages, we sent packages. He went into prison, as he said, as a confused young man. He was looking for his place in the world. But during his time in prison, he has matured. When part of his transition plan, he said, is that he can go to the Louisiana Parole Project to start learning skills needed for life in the outside world. He has the option upon leaving that program of either coming to live with me or coming to live with his brother. I own a home, his brother owns a home. His sister, in fact, owns a home, but she lives in Virginia, so we felt that the Dallas area would be a much better solution for him. As part of his transition plan too, is when he comes to live in Dallas, I think that he would be attending AA meetings. I've looked up and there are several just within about 4 or 5 miles from where my house is. I'll encourage him to attend, and I can attend also the Al-Anon meetings. He's a little bit modest because he does have other skills. You talked about job training. He was in the hobby shop and he was making, he got skills as a wood crafter, and he makes absolutely excellent chairs and other things that he fashions out of wood. And one time he did win the award at the Angola Rodeo for the best handcrafted, whatever it was. And his chairs, I've shown friends pictures of his chairs and other things he's made, and they are just amazed. So that's another option for him, because I know in this area there are opportunities.
Oh, that mama speaking for her baby. He's still her baby.
Opportunities for people who have the woodworking skills. When he is released, and I pray that you find it in your hearts to commute his sentence, he will come home to a large family, brother, sister, nieces, nephews. And I hope that you, like I said, I hope that you do find it in your hearts to commute his sentence so that we can welcome him back.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your remarks. Mr. Cox, we hear from you, ma'am.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Morning. So I've known Greg since a very early age. I first met him in Cub Scouts. In fact, Elizabeth was our den mother. So about 6-7 years, I've known him my whole life, basically. We were best friends all the way through high school. We did everything together, rode bikes in the neighborhood, and just spent a lot of time together. I also knew Ralph, the co-defendant. And my understanding is that Ralph has got his sentence commuted, which I thought was really, really good to hear. When I first learned of Greg's incarceration, I was really surprised because that's not who I knew him as. We were just good friends, and we did everything together, but we never got into trouble. And it kind of shocked me. It was out of character, I believe. Over the years that Greg's been in Angola, I have visited him probably, I would say about a half a dozen times or so. Being in Dallas, married, I got 2 kids. It's kind of difficult to get down there, but usually takes a couple of days to do the whole trip. But every time I go down there, I'm always encouraged to see him. It's just good to see my old friend, In the Dallas area, I'm a realtor, contractor, a landlord, and I'm also a business owner. I own 16 rental properties. My business partner owns 22 houses. And we are always in need of people to work on them, fix them up, do roofing, painting, sheetrock, all kinds of work. I'm close friends with a guy named Christian Vielma. He is an owner of a roofing company, and he's told me that he would hire Greg without any problem at all. So there's plenty of work here for him. We could keep Greg busy for sure, and not just busy, but I'm sure we can employ him to do whatever we need on the houses and that kind of thing. I also own a Christmas light business. We're just coming out of our 2022 season. We had a record year. That company is growing. I could certainly use him in that business. That's a very profitable endeavor. And just real quick, Elizabeth mentioned his crafting skills. This is a little jewelry box that he has made. This thing he sent it to me a few years ago, and it's one of my prized possessions, but he's just a remarkable craftsman. I know we can put him to work, and I'm sure he can support himself here. We'll find a way to make that happen. And I just want to let you know, I really miss my friend. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Could we hear now from Parole Project?
Yes, good morning, and Kerry Myers with Parole Project. Apologize for the late entry. Parole Project stands behind Mr. Johnson. We understand that 37 years is it's 3.5 decades plus, and the world has changed significantly. He is exactly the type of person our program is designed to assist upon reentry. He's a first-time felony offender who made a terrible decision, but he's not, as you see the support that he has here. He's not the worst thing he's ever done. He's much more than that. His disciplinary record, he hasn't had a write-up since 2011. Since that 2011 write-up, he has taken Living in Balance 1 and 2. Since that time, he's done the things that he needs to do. He's been a Class A trustee for 15 years. So we believe that he's an excellent candidate for this program. Once he leaves Parole Project, he has a great support system. He's employable, and you can see that here from the people who are here to support him. And we just ask that you grant him his recommendation today.
Thank you. So at this time,
so I guess the victim didn't have any family members to show up to go against it.
I'd like to hear from the DA's office.
So the DA is going to speak. I think that's Randall Meyer. This will be critical. Let's see. And then Glenn Johnson, I guess that is that his that anyway, let's listen to the DA.
Good morning, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA Jefferson Parish. We're opposed. We are opposed to his request
Oh, the DA is opposing it.
for commutation of the sentence. Again, I feel that honesty in the commission of the crime is the first step in rehabilitation, and I don't believe Mr. Johnson has been completely honest with us in response to Ms. Jackson's questions in particular. This is a crime that both he and Mr. Dawson participated in beating the victim, both with their hands and with their feet. They brutally beat the gentleman, and then they took a cord, and both of them took an end of the cord, pulled it tight, and strangled the gentleman. Since he's been in.
Wait a minute, look at the guy that was asleep in Antoine Massey's mama's parole. He sleep again. Now, how you gonna really give a verdict on somebody's parole and you're sleeping through all of the parole hearings? And then the man got his head to, we gonna see how this goes.
Incarcerated, he's lost 120 days of good time. He's had numerous contraband disciplinary reports, and the last in 2011 was for marijuana. He's failed to obtain adequate programs and job training. He commented that because he had a life sentence, he wasn't able to do some of the programs that were available to other inmates, but that policy has not been in place for many, many years. He didn't. It's clear that he didn't attempt to get back into any of the programs. He didn't try to return to the college program that he had started and didn't complete. And finally, there's very strong, there's victim opposition. The victim's family remains opposed to his request. For those reasons, we are opposed to Mr. Johnson's request for commutation of his sentence.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson, before we turn it over to your attorney, is there a statement you'd like to make to us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
On that fateful day in 1986, I lay there, got drunk, and without and beat a poor man and kill a poor man for no reason at all. I've regretted it for all these years. It makes me feel so bad every day I think about it. My remorse chokes me inside. It's something that never should have happened, something I never even should have thought about doing. I don't know what got into me, but what's done is done, and I can't bring him back. I didn't know he had family, as the DA just said, with opposition. I destroyed part of their life also by doing what I did. I tore my own family apart with this. And I'm so sorry. And even y'all, it was, I caused y'all as taxpayers money having to support my life all these years. I'm sorry to y'all also. If you do grant me this pardon, I will get in the AA program and attend it judiciously till I can't attend anymore. I know it's support's the best thing for addiction. I guess that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Mr. Nordike.
Thank you. Greg is not the most articulate applicant I've ever represented. That's pretty clear. And I want to try to clarify some things. And
Well, that he just pretty much said he can't speak. And what he's saying is correct. I mean, not everyone is the best at articulating their case. Some people, it's like on YouTube. Some people have the gift for gab. They can sit and drag people and talk about people all day long and never miss a beat. Never miss a beat. Some people can literally tell a story. Like my brother can tell. If this would, he can tell a story and make you think you're within the story, you're there. Some people can do that. Some people can remember something that happened. They see something and they can tell it from top to bottom. It's not my best thing. Not my best thing. So let's see what his attorney does for him.
see if I can make some sense out of some things that may not have made sense. And I'm going to probably try to take them in somewhat of the order that Judge Jackson addressed them. And let's start with 1992 in the Northwest Missouri College. I was actively involved at Angola at that period of time, and I can tell you what happened. I know he got locked up for protection, but in addition to that, in 1992, the Pell Grants program ceased at Angola. Congress stopped it, and Northwest Community College pulled out of Angola at that point. There were no more college programs from 1992 forward until NOBTS came on board many years later. So that's what happened to all of them, everybody that was involved in Northwest Community College. The second thing is, and I'm having a tough time trying to figure out how to even say this, but Greg is like a lot of folks from those years, from the 80s, the late 70s, the 80s, and even into the early 90s, that they go to Angola, and it was during a time where there was a policy that lifers didn't get any programming, lifers didn't get anything, and he fell into that. I agree with you that later years, people got programming, but if you look at who got the programming, it is mostly the people that were at Maine prison. The folks in the out camps just didn't get the same things that folks at Maine prison did. I'd like you to actually take judicial notice of something here, and that is that for 12 years, Mr. Johnson was at Camp J Bass. When you hear Camp J, you immediately think he was sent there for punishment.
Well, finally, everybody is awake at the parole board, the Louisiana Board of Pardons. They are all looking up. The man on the end has woke up, and I want to know what this woman in the middle, Stacy Finch. She looked kind of mean. I don't know if she's going to be for the state or for the man himself. I don't like the way she looked.
He was not. He was sent there as a trustee. He was a trustee at Bass. And here's where I want you to take judicial notice. There were no programs to speak of at Camp J. There have not been programs at Camp J historically at Bass. The only thing they ever had at Bass was a hobby shop. And there's not much he could do other than work in the hobby shop. And that was for 12 years. What he didn't tell you is that he was assigned to work in the tool shed there and fix lawnmowers. He had his mom buy books on gas maintenance repair and send them to him so he could fix the lawnmowers better. And he did that. So he's done what he could. Right at the end of Camp J's existence, before it was transformed, he was sent to Camp C and then Camp D right away. And then COVID hit. All programs were shut down. Now they're back up. But up until when he got into thinking for a change, there were no programs. There was nothing he could do. When I was talking to him last week, we were talking about something he mentioned, which was going to AA. And I said, when you finished living in balance, what about AA? And he said, there was no AA at Camp J. And then we got shut down at Camp C, excuse me. So he just didn't have the opportunities that some folks have had. That doesn't make him a bad person. It just makes him a person that didn't have opportunities. He's been a trustee for 15 years. He's only had 22 write-ups, which doesn't really sound like a lot to me coming from that era. He took living in balance after his last marijuana write-up. He did something about it. He's not as articulate as his co-defendant was. I mean, I listened to that hearing as well. But that doesn't mean he's not just as good of an applicant and just as good of a candidate.
Oh, we missed the co-defendants. I may have to go back, not today, but interesting.
He would go to the Parole Project and then go to an out-of-state living plan and under the Interstate Compact, and that would be it. He was a tutor for a number of years. He did give back. He has given back. He talks about the Camp C Concept Club, and what I want to express there, and he didn't say it. He is a little modest, but he was hand chosen to go do that job. That club was in trouble at Camp C. He was chosen because of his honesty to go do that work and take care of that. And that was a management decision by Angola. He didn't ask for it. He didn't run for it. It's not a job that he sought. He's been very nervous today. I've talked to him a number of times recently, and he was far more able to talk than he was today. He's obviously scared to death. I would ask, one other thing. Turk talks about programming. I understand he's backlogged for at least one program, victim awareness. So if the board were to grant a commutation, there would be plenty of time for him to be pushed into the victim awareness and any other programming and get that before he would come up for a parole hearing. So I would ask the board to commute him to 99 years and allow him to go forward with that process. Thank you.
Mrs. Jackson?
Excuse me?
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, I will tell you that I had a lot of concerns going into this when I looked at the fact that you had not done a lot of programming. This is a privilege, not something you have to right to. You have to earn consideration. But Mr. Nordyke did help me understand some of the reasons why your programming is not on the same level as we typically see. When I take into consideration that your co-defendant was granted a commutation and his role in the crime was just as horrible as yours. I'm going to, because of the fact that you've been a trustee for 15 years, you have a good institutional record. My vote today would be to grant a commutation to 99 years with immediate possibility. I'm just going to vote Mr. Johnson. But again, Mr. Nordyke helped me understand why your resume isn't what I would have hoped it to have been. And you do have a good support network. So my vote is to recommend a commutation, 99 years with immediate parole.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, I'll be dipped in buttermilk. So the other person that was with him, they had his parole here. It's probably on here somewhere, but we didn't listen to it. Well, he's gonna get paroled.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, Lord.
Morning. Mr. Johnson.
Here come Pawpaw. Let's hear what he said.
I've listened intently. I've read information I had multiple times. And the crime that you and your co-defendant committed was, this is as egregious as I've seen any time. A 53-year-old man, you're 20 years old, and you kicked, punched and beat this man to death. Strangled him and left him in a room to die if he wasn't dead when you left with his car. Based upon victim opposition, based upon law enforcement opposition, based upon adamant opposition from the DA's office, and you've already had one program in the last 6 years of incarceration and a ban on lifers not taking programs. It's been long disbanded. My vote is to deny your request.
Mr. Miracle.
Okay, he got one for him and one gangster. Paw said no.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Johnson, your interview was not a good one today. And I believe it was not a good one because I think that Mr. Nordyke is right. You're nervous, afraid, scared, but I think you've been honest. Sometimes your honesty hurts you, but you've been very honest today. There were a lot of things that I think you didn't explain very well. Mr. Nordyke did a very good job of explaining this. The crime is horrible. All murders are horrible. There's no question of that. We're here to determine who you are today and what you've accomplished. There are a lot of reasons why you didn't take a lot of programs and what you didn't do.
Do y'all feel like he's the same person? Obviously he's not the same as he was when he went in there.
You have a lot of support. You have.
But if that was your family member or my family member, would you be saying, never let him out? I probably would be saying that.
You've accomplished a lot of things while you've been. I'm willing to take a chance. My recommendation is going to be to the governor to commute your sentence to 99 with immediate parole eligibility.
Mr. Craven?
Seems a tough one, but I agree with Mr. Marabella and Judge Jackson. My vote today is to commute your sentence to 99 years with immediate parole eligibility.
All right, that's 3-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-1, I think.
All right, Mr. Johnson. This one is a tough one, as everybody has indicated, and you've acknowledged it's a horrible crime. You've been locked up. You've done what you could, I believe. I appreciate Mr. Nordyke's explanation, and I kind of lived through some of that stuff too, so I know what he says is true and accurate about your program availability. So my vote today also is to make a recommendation for a commutation sentence to 99 years with immediate parole eligibility.
Well, looks like he was paroled. He should be out now. I pray to God he didn't do nothing else to go back in.
So you received one unfavorable vote, 4 favorable votes. So on your behalf, sir, we'll make the recommendation to the governor that your sentence be commuted to 99 years and that you be immediate.
Thank the panel.
Thank you, man.
His mama. Okay, so I guess Christopher was the other person. All right, I'm gonna stop right there, but I will be reviewing more of these. Interesting. He did make parole, y'all. He made parole. Thanks to everybody that participated in the polls and voted. They set him free. I wonder if he's still free. I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna look him up and make sure he didn't do anything to get back in there. That was in 2023. We know Antoine's mama is still free. She's not going back, honey. She is not going back. And her son said he ain't going back either. All right, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I gotta get myself together, get dressed. I gotta go do a favor for somebody. I'll holler at y'all later. Bye-bye.